This video is to explain cultural relevant pedagogy versus critical race theory. These conversations are not interchangeable. Cultural relevant pedagogy is a practice that is utilized in K through 12 classrooms. It is now being welcomed in higher education. Educators are asked to consider the variety of students within the classroom while compiling their lessons. First, educators should think about the historical context of the lesson that they're explaining. For example, in English, we should consider when the text was written and what was happening at the time the document was written. Another example, when discussing history and political science, would be to explain a complete understanding of history. I would not just talk about Abraham Lincoln emancipating slaves. Rather, we would talk about why Lincoln emancipating slaves, it was a military decision that was utilized to help win the war. In fact, we would further explain how Lincoln made statements about how enslaved people should be shipped to Africa or South/Central America because they would be better off there since it would be difficult for them to find equality in the United States. We would provide a more holistic, complete education. Truth is the utmost importance. Second, educators would need to teach a diverse curriculum. As an English major at Pepperdine University, I only read 3 books by African Americans: Frederick Douglass, Sula by Toni Morrison, and Freemasons. In my religion course, I read Why We Can't Wait by Martin Luther King Jr. We read no writing from Latino, Asian, or Native American authors. Yes, I have a classical education that has taken me far in my career, and it also set a foundation in many other disciplines like political science and history. Yet, how does it make students feel that they literally do not see themselves in the curriculum? They are absent in all literary and historical references. There is damage and long-lasting effects that we have by not informing all students of the rich history and context of our American story and lineage. Finally, African Americans, Latinos, and Native Americans have a rich history of storytelling. Therefore, teaching them in story format will enrich their experience and increase participation. In fact, all 3 aspects of cultural relevant pedagogy increases retention and persistence. My passing rate maintains as one of the strongest at all of the colleges I have taught. Critical race theory has absolutely nothing to do with cultural relevant pedagogy. In fact, critical race theory is written in Derek Bell, who is an attorney. He wrote a few books in which he utilizes the Socratic method to explain how the Constitution is inherently written to include race and gender. Yet the Constitution has been interpreted within legal decisions to exclude non-whites and women. Thus, we need to have laws that continually include these groups. Critical race theory actually is demonstrating how laws and eventually all social policy, criminal justice, economic, fiscal, education, health, etc., directly and indirectly harm certain races because of how it is evenly applied. Critical race theory is literally asking, how does policy affect Blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and Asians? It is not trying to explain why. It is simply trying to show that it does. Now, social scientists within these respective fields takes these findings and tries to explain why does this happen and hope to figure out ways to fix the inequality. Critical race theory is attempting to show the society that There are other people in the room than white, middle, or wealthy class individuals. Due to the complexity of the application of the theory, people would need to have a solid foundation of history, law, sociology, educational systems, or whatever their respective fields in order to understand the data and the context of identifying the racial differences within the application of universal policies. The ultimate goal then of critical race theory is to have a society that creates policies that would be written in a way to help all people to become equal. Students in undergrad and K through 12 are likely inequipped to have a deep and rich application of critical race theory. Yet there would be small introductions, and thus the argument and outline critical race theory is very ignorant. It is a demonstration that we are not fully understanding the limitations and its applications. Our goal should be to have an inclusive community and to teach our students a complete history that includes all of our students.